Two properties, 28 million rand, 48 million rand, bought, the commission is told, with Secret Service funds, and IDAC was ordered to go hunting for them before a single referral existed. Today, Advocate Andrea Johnson, the head of South Africa's investigating directorate, is in serious trouble. Not because of a rumor, because of her own junior prosecutor. Advocate Ramsamy sits down and she starts naming names. Perumal, Padiachi, Nkabinde, the Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu. She tells the commission the minister wanted to clean up SAPS, crime intelligence specifically. She says a witness was flown across the country by the minister's office. She says her boss wanted, in her own words, dirt on the minister's own chief of staff. And then there's this. The National Commissioner, General Fannie Masemola, was to be kept in the dark before he faced Parliament. Her handwritten note reads, "Let him lie." The chairperson puts it to her plainly. So the plan was to set him up? Her answer, in essence, that was the instructions. Then comes a Section 281 application dated the 30th of May, submitted in her name. Her words, a complete fabrication. The chair's words, forgery and uttering. Nobody has been convicted. Every word you're about to hear is sworn testimony. Smash that like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. You're going to want the next one. Let's go inside.
Okay. I have done numerous memos about the poor investigation, the targeting, the irregular activities of the Eastern Cape team and the matters that they have enrolled in IDAC. I also said to the commissioners last week that I recently, when I fought to receive the actual document, the docket, I found, myself and my co-prosecutor, we found documentation hidden in the C-clip that actually exonerated the accused, and we did a memo for the charges to be withdrawn in totality. I've also alerted Advocate Johnson in writing to the fact that multiple matters that are enrolled by Mr. Perumal's team within the IDAC space under Advocate Johnson's control from 2022 do not have the proper authorization.
All right. Thank you. We'll leave it for now. Thanks.
Ms. Ramsamy, Mr. Perumal and Mr. Beluchan, they were there before Advocate Johnson's appointment?
Correct.
Okay, so she found them there?
Towards January, the end of January 2025, I did alert the commissioners to my instincts kicked in, and my gut was not sitting well. I was very uneasy about the events of December. But in January 2025, I came to the conclusion that I was just a puppet. In the 27 referral from 2023, after the prosecutor, the other state advocate was removed and the deputy director came on board, he provided a very firm hand to the investigations and the manner in which the investigation was conducted, to a point where Mr. Perumal would remind Mr. Binang and Mr. Rapesu that he is their commander. So the fact that I had strong support in the form of senior, that is why I was not completely alerted to what was happening at that point.
Thank you.
Paragraph 5.
Mr. Perumal informed me that the witness had been flown to the Eastern Cape by the Minister of Police, Minister Mchunu, in order for Mr. Perumal to consult with the witness.
What was your understanding of this? Did you understand it to mean that Minister Mchunu had paid the airfare? If not, what was your understanding?
My understanding is that all arrangements were made by Mr. Mchunu or Minister Mchunu for this witness to consult with Mr. Perumal in Eastern Cape.
My focus is on flown. What did you understand that to mean?
I had assumed that the minister's office had paid for, because I had later met this witness and he would not have been of financial means to have flown himself to Eastern Cape.
All right, thank you.
And this witness was coming from Pretoria.
Correct, from the vetting department of crime intelligence.
Thank you.
Sorry, the procurement department.
Procurement department. Thank you.
Is this the witness that you refer to as the forklift witness?
Correct.
Okay. So maybe we should just then refer to it as the forklift witness. Yes.
We'll do that.
I think we do refer to it later on as the forklift witness, but for convenience now you can start referring to the person.
Well, thank you.
Okay. It seems strange to me.
It seems strange to me that Minister Mchunu would be involved in this investigation, but Mr. Perumal did not offer any further details regarding Mr. Mchunu's involvement in the investigation. Mr. Perumal told me that this witness was relevant for the procurement of the forklift by crime intelligence.
Was this the first time that you become aware of, through Mr. Perumal or any other?
Correct. So what happens on the 22nd is we all sitting in the boardroom, the presentation is now done. Advocate Johnson says she needs to inform the team about what happened to her the night before, or it was either the 20th or the 21st, but during the evening. She indicates that she had gone to Minister Mchunu's house or residence for a meeting, and that she had left her cell phone with her protectors, and she was left waiting for Minister Mchunu in his residence, but in the presence of Mr. Nkabinde, and that Mr. Nkabinde had given her the hejibbies.
Made her feel uncomfortable.
Yes, made her feel uncomfortable. And so she went on about how there's something not right about in Nkabinde and all of that. I'm still trying to place the pieces together because I'm not coming from the history of I was in regional court, murder, rape, robbery. So I didn't know the role players.
It may not be relevant, but did she explain what exactly made her feel uncomfortable?
She did not explain why she felt uncomfortable. She explained only the purpose of the meeting with Minister Mchunu.
Okay, all right, please continue.
So at that point where she's explaining her unease and that there's something just off about Mr. On the 23rd of January 2025, at 13:38, I sent Advocate Johnson.
Can you just, sorry, Ms. Ramsamy, when you read from the file, maybe bring the file closer to you so that you don't move away from the microphone. Thanks.
13:38, afternoon, Advocate Johnson. I spoke to Tilas about the links and the evidence regarding C in Cub.
That is a reference to Mr. Nkabinde, and Tilas is Advocate Shabalala.
Correct. Peter White has a comprehensive report on the links on various matters, cell phone records, and vehicle provided to him, him being Mr. Nkabinde.
And who's Peter White?
He's a data analyst.
Within IDAC.
He previously was within IDAC on contract basis. He's now a service provider.
Okay.
Rapesu has provided the transcripts of the court case and judgment. I will await your instructions on obtaining the report, providing same to your office.
What report are you referring to here?
The Peter White report, because Advocate Johnson had instructed me to speak to Tilas and find out what evidence against Mr. Nkabinde was at hand, and that is why I'm informing her that Mr. White has a comprehensive report.
Okay, and then there's a response from Advocate Johnson.
Please obtain report. Just met the minister now. Need to put together ASAP. I reply, noted, thank you.
from the chair whether the only reason for the inquiry by Advocate Johnson was because Mr. Nkabinde made her feel uncomfortable. And you said you thought that there was a different reason and referred us to this. So can you tell us why you say so and why this is relevant?
My understanding or observation of this is that if she's saying to me, just met the minister now, need to put this together ASAP, obviously the minister is also or happy or approving that Mr. Nkabinde must be investigated, charged, and...
Well, at that stage, there's nothing suggesting that he must be charged. She's just gathering information at the time.
If I may just put it as to how I understood it in the meeting on the 22nd of January. I want something on this guy.
Meaning what in your speak?
In my head, Advocate Johnson wanted dirt on Mr. Nkabinde, and she wanted to charge him.
And your reference, so are you suggesting that at the meeting, either on the 20th or the 21st, at the minister's residence, that was when the minister and Advocate Johnson discussed Mr. Nkabinde?
I assumed it to be so because of the way Advocate Johnson was pushing for the information, even on the 23rd, and then she said she spoke to the minister, we must move ASAP. The other aspect of the 22nd of January 2025 meeting that made me alert to the fact that the meetings with the minister were common or regular was that she said, Advocate Johnson said to the team, the minister wants to clean up SAPS. He wants us to help him clean up SAPS, crime intelligence in specifically.
Let me just take you back on digging up dirt on Mr. Nkabinde. From where I'm...
Then just to continue with that 242, Advocate Johnson then responds at 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock. I'm shocked. He's the staff officer of the Minister.
I'm shook.
I'm shook. He is the staff officer of the Minister of Police. Can you what damage he can do with all the information, etc., he gets from the office, from that office?
And then I'm interested in your response at 1302. Read that and then explain to us.
Sure. It explains how the messages for the not cancelling the task team were so easily conveyed, and consequences of cancelling. The MP in Cape Town showed us the messages.
When you say not, you mean the notice for cancelling?
Yes, I think
No,
what I
sorry.
did was...
When you say not, you're referring to the notice for cancelling.
Correct.
Okay.
And with regards to this, I had in part 1 indicated that when we were in consultation on the 6th of January 2025 with Mr. Fadil Adams, he did show us messages allegedly from General Mchunu, indicating that they were going to arrest Minister Mchunu if the PKTT was closed. I also indicated that I wasn't sure if it was Mr. Nkabinde or the minister that had forwarded the messages.
Yes, because you said the messages, you weren't really interested in the messages.
Interested.
And Mr. Rapesu said that he couldn't really decipher what the message was saying because Mr. Adams was telling him what the message is saying while showing him the message.
Correct. That's how, because I didn't read the messages and Mr. Adams was talking over and explaining what the messages were saying. That's how I understood what the messages were about.
And that's what you mean when you say, and consequences of cancelling. In other words, what Mr. Adams had told you and Mr. Rapesu and Mr. Perumal is that Minister Mchunu is going to be arrested if the task team is cancelled.
Correct.
Okay.
What happened was, on the 11th of April, I was complaining that I had not received 90% of the documents and Advocate Johnson wanted diversion enrolled. And so Mr. Perumal had instructed Mr. Padiachi to copy the diversion file onto a USB and give it to me. Mr. Padiachi had copied a lot of things. And during the consultations and looking for affidavits and all of that, I came across Mr. Perumal's affidavit. And Mr. Perumal's affidavit is very different to everything that I heard. It says that he had contacted Mr. Nkabinde the night before, and that Mr. Nkabinde was an IDAC source or informer on the crime intelligence matters. And that, so the entire documentation that I saw is that Mr. Nkabinde had contacted Adv Johnson on the 30th. But in Mr. Perumal's affidavit, it states that Adv Johnson contacted Mr. Nkabinde and put him on speaker in the presence of Mr. Perumal and Mr. Padiachi.
As opposed to what Adv Johnson told you when
Correct.
she... And that, as part of the documentation, that will still be included, Chair.
Confirm.
And so, in effect, what you were saying in this affidavit, by setting out the chronology and asking if it could, basically saying it couldn't have been Mr. Rapesu who leaked the information, because he wouldn't have been privy to the conversations. That is, your suspicion is then confirmed that it's someone else in Mr. Peru.
Thank you. I do not recall if she said the PKTT was providing protection for Mr. Cameron or whether Mr. Cameron was protecting the PKTT. I would think the former, but I do not remember the specifics. And my notes do not assist me in recalling this aspect. In respect of properties being purchased with COVID funds from the SSA, Adv Johnson said that we would look at DivCom of CI, General Khumalo, General Lushaba, and General Madondo. Adv Johnson also said that we must look for a link between the SSA and the Tembisa contract, which I later became aware was in fact the Medicare 24 contract.
And if we can just look at your notes, that appears under number 4 on page 2. So you've circled the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. On page 2, we've got 3, which says hotel accommodation. And then 4, we've got properties, COVID funds, Tembisa contract.
Correct.
At that stage, you had no idea that it related to the Medicare 24 contract.
I only became aware in May.
Do you know why Adv Johnson referred to it as the Tembisa contract? SAPS contract, Tembisa contract.
I'm not sure if she was confusing the contracts or she was using the code names of to not openly state what it was. Like.
Thank you. Before you continue with paragraph 19, we are now, Commissioners, on page 5 of the notes, file 11. Continue paragraph 19.
Advocate Johnson said that the National Commissioner, General Masemola, should not be informed of the investigation. She said the National Commissioner would appear at the Portfolio Committee on Policing soon, and we should let him lie at the Portfolio Committee. I assume this was because IDAC was engaged in discussions with the members of the Portfolio Committee on Policing who would know about certain aspects of the investigation. General Masemola, unaware of the investigations, would then presumably be caught in a lie.
Okay.
Before you leave your note at page 5, did Advocate Johnson say why the National Commissioner should be left to lie? What was the plan, the idea behind let him go lie to Parliament and then what?
Like I said in statement 1, Commissioners, it looked and obviously became evident that there was a line of march, and that line of march was to get General Khumalo and General Masemola in an accused box. And so obviously there was, at some point there was talk about if he lies at portfolio committee, but this is well after. I think this is in February or March, and this was just between Padiachi and myself and Mr. Perumal, where if he lies, we can at least charge him for perjury.
He would have lied to a committee of parliament, which in itself is an offence.
So the plan was to set him up.
In essence, it was. That was the instructions. Don't tell him, let him go and lie.
So that he can be arrested and charged.
Correct.
And be presented to court.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thereafter, Adv Johnson relayed an incident that occurred when she attended the Minister of Police residence for a meeting either a day or 2 days before the 22nd of January 2025 meeting. I will deal with this under the investigation of Mr. Nkabinde. Suffice to state that for present purposes, that I do not know what was discussed with the Minister during the meeting, because Adv Johnson did not elaborate. As part of the presentation for my evidence before the Commission, I note that according to Major General Charity Matlala Matlo, in an affidavit dated 6 June 2025, Minister Mchunu referred the Medicare 24 to the SAPS internal audit risk and integrity management on 9 January 2025. I do not know if this incident, or if this is coincidence that on the 22nd of January 2025, after meeting with the Minister, Adv Johnson referred to the Medicare 24 contract, albeit as a SAPS Tembisa contract at the time, for the first time. At this stage, there is no Section 27 referral or Section 28 investigation regarding the Medicare contract. On the 23rd of January 2020, got his affidavit. Mr. Perumal forwarded messages from Adv Johnson, where it is clear that she was eager for the arrest to be effected as soon as possible, or as she put it, let us strike while it is hot.
We do have the screenshot of that. It's not yet in the bundle. It's part of the documents, but we do have, that's supposed to be added and compiled. So we're going to flight that now, but it will be added to file 10 at some point when we do the other documents. Are you able to see it and read it?
Yeah. Okay, ID. Just wanted to advise, meeting with Ian Cameron went well. Full support from him. We got his affidavit. We also got...
No, I think you must start from the beginning. This is an email from, this is a WhatsApp from Mr. Perumal.
Correct. This is a WhatsApp from Mr. Perumal. He forwarded it to me after he had sent it to Adv Johnson.
Yes, okay.
So he was reporting to
Adv Johnson.
Okay.
We also got General Pinar to come in. Once she saw the evidence she's withdrawing I think her reports, wherein she cleared Lushaba. I will sign off on her affidavit on Friday. She admits that she was misled by the IO and Lushaba's friends, etc. We're back at airport, flying back to PTA at 6 p.m.
And so that is his message that he sent to Adv Johnson, and he's now sending it to you to show that's what he sent her.
Correct.
And then he forwards, so he's basically forwarding the conversation that he's having with Adv Johnson to you.
Correct.
And where we then see the white messages like that, a long message, where it doesn't have a forward, it's because it's his message to her. So when you send it to somebody else, it's not going to show as a forwarded message. But her message to him will come across as a forwarded message.
Correct.
So where we see forwarded, that is from Advocate Johnson to Mr. Perumal. And where we don't see forward, it's his message to her.
Correct.
Okay?
Okay, thank you. Stay on Pinat. Thank you, man, Pinar. So that we enroll Lushaba ASAP.
And his response?
No problem, ID.
And
Her reply.
response?
Let us strike while it's hot.
And that was in reference to enrolling the matters in order.
Why everything is happening, I don't know. When you say they went there with a narrative, is it that he's giving full support for the cleaning up of the SAPS, or is it for arresting and charging crime intelligence people, including the National Commissioner? When you say narrative that you think they went there with, and that's what Perumal is speaking to when he says that Mr. Cameron gives his full support, what in fact do you have in mind, or are you seeking to convey to us?
My understanding of the narrative by then was exactly what they were perpetuating, that General Khumalo and General Masemola need to leave. They need to be gone.
So your understanding was that, and you may well have been wrong in your understanding,
Correct.
so you're not placing it higher than what you made of it.
Correct.
Your understanding was that Perumal is conveying that Cameron supports that agenda.
Correct.
He may well be misrepresenting what happened between him and Cameron, so we're not placing it higher than that.
Correct. And also, just to repeat, by then, Advocate Johnson had already said we must look into a link of PKTT and Cameron, in Cameron. Also, General Masemola was served with a Section 28 to appear before a designated member of the ID to answer questions. In that meeting, the ID asked me, why is NASCOM being served? And I'm like, I literally did this, and I pointed to Perumal. And she wanted an explanation as to why it was to happen. And so she gave Mr. Perumal an instruction that he must phone NASCOM and tell NASCOM that the ID instructed that he is not to respond to that 28, and that a letter was to be drafted by Mr. Perumal to withdraw the 28 served on NASCOM. And she wanted Mr. Perumal to advise her as to why it was necessary to 28 and interview the NASCOM.
Yeah, this wasn't just 28 for him, for General Masemola to provide documentation. It was for him to appear before who was going to be the interviewer. So he was supposed to appear before that person under subpoena to answer questions related to what?
So I think that's why Advocate Johnson stopped it. Not because it wasn't, she wouldn't have wanted it to happen, she just didn't understand how it was going to happen. 28 interviews are to be conducted with a prosecutor present. I was the only prosecutor on the matter except for Advocate Johnson. Neither of us knew that the NASCOM was subpoenaed to come to be interviewed. So who was going to do the interview and for what purpose? Because at that point, I didn't even know what information they wanted to question NASCOM on.
And
Thank you.
I want to ask about IDAC's investigative processes, because I see that it's May, you're already discussing takedowns, which I understand to be getting warrants of arrest.
Correct.
I've noticed that in all the matters we have discussed, although you have the Section 28 process available, you actually don't have statements from the suspects. And you said yourself that you thought one case was not very strong, the other one, you know, there was a prima facie case of criminal conduct. But some of the questions you still had, I would have thought that if you interviewed the suspects, if you summoned them and you said to them, how did it happen that you were given this position without the vetting process being done? Who actually did the vetting process, under what circumstances? Then you would evaluate all of that and determine whether there's reason to arrest, charge, and prosecute. But in all these cases, it looks like there was a rush to arrest people and prosecute them when you didn't have the full facts.
Correct.
So why is that? I'm trying to understand why in the process, the mechanism available to bring people in to ask them questions so that you clarify issues, why that was not used.
Commissioner Khumalo, if advocate can just help, I'm looking for the part where I speak about the orchestrated attack.
The orchestrated attack. Now you're putting me on the spot.
I apologize. Okay, I will paraphrase it, Commissioner Khumalo. I started on last week Thursday by saying that the evidence I'm going to provide to the Commission will demonstrate that there was an orchestrated attack and plan to arrest people. So, and I said it earlier, and I said it again now, common sense doesn't prevail. Regulations don't prevail when manipulation is happening.
It's page 21, paragraph 50.
Thank you.
I'm indebted to Ms. Poe for that.
Thank you, Advocate.
I think you can go from before I deal with the event, so almost towards the end of paragraph 50 on page 21.
It's fourth line from the bottom.
Thank you. Before I deal with the events that transpired from the 6th of December 2024, I want to make it clear that Advocate Johnson and Mr. Perumal lodged an orchestrated attack on General Masemola and Lieutenant General Khumalo using IDAC's powerful investigation tools. So common sense did not prevail when the plan and the evidence was being manipulated.
So they could have, but they chose not to because their plan was to...
Correct.
Just before you do that, it says that it's from Advocate Adv Ramsamy, title State Advocate 30 May 2025 to Advocate Johnson.
Correct?
Yes.
Advocate Johnson testified before this commission. She produced a Section 28(1) authorization signed and dated 30 May 2025 in the Mukwele matter, as well as a Section 28(1) application purported from me to her dated 30 May 2025. I did not prepare this application, and the authorization could not have been signed and approved by Advocate Johnson on the 30th of May 2025. As these documents suggest, I say so for the following reasons. During the meeting...
Sorry, before you say that, so what you're saying is that the document that Advocate Johnson produced that she indicated was the authorization for the 28(1) investigation into the Mukwele matter, and that was preceded by an application drafted by you, sent to her, in order for her to authorize the investigation on 30 May 2025, you say you did not prepare that document.
Correct.
Okay. And you say that not only did you not prepare it, but that authorization couldn't have been that investigation couldn't have been authorized by Advocate Johnson on the 30th of May 2025.
Correct.
Okay, and then you tell us why you say so at 32.
During the meeting on the 27th of May 2025, the purported 30 May, there's a paper trail of when I sent the, an electronic trail of when I actually sent. It could not have been signed on the 30th of May. And if the commissioners look at page 369, it includes from Advocate Santos Manuel, Acting Deputy Director. The one Advocate Johnson provided to the commission doesn't even have that. It just says State Advocate.
So are you saying the one she provided to us is a fabrication?
Yes.
Can I?
Do you know anything about Advocate Johnson's laptop being lost in Namibia or getting lost in Namibia?
Can you read what does she say?
Subject docs. Drew, I have perused and corrected all these documents. Anna Marie is acting and I changed the documents to her name. Brian, in his statement under paragraph 3,
Paragraph 5.
Paragraph 5, with regards to this, it was Advocate Johnson checking, confirming the correctness of Brian Padiachi's J50 affidavit for application. In his statement under paragraph 5, lists the offenses, please. Anna Marie, can you please sign the in-consultation memo? I have perused it properly and made the necessary alterations, but do not want to sign while you are acting. We want to do this, we want this to go to Marika during the course of tomorrow, please. Once signed, Drew will collect and take by hand. I will ask that you call Marika to give her a heads up. We want to arrest on Friday at the latest, Drew. I will correct the section 28 and I will sign that as I usually do if there is an acting.
Even if?
Even if there is an acting.
So she's saying we want to arrest on Friday at the latest, and then she's saying, Drew, I will correct the section 28, which means that on the 3rd of June 2025, there was still not a signed section 28(1) application or authorization.
Correct.
It looks like what she was doing, and correct me if I'm wrong, with this 28(1) now, which is to authorize an investigation. We are at the 3rd of June, and you're going to effect arrest on the 7th. It was really to trick the system. Appearances of, we already had an investigation authorized on the 3rd earlier, and now we are arresting when in fact, in the intervening period between the 3rd of June, if that's when she authorizes, and the 7th, there really would not have been an investigation because you've already done the investigations without the authorization. Am I correct in that construction?
If I can go back to the 27 referral I did in
2023.
Thank you. After the investigation was at a level where we knew that there was sufficient evidence to proceed. Myself and the deputy director on the matter did an application setting out all the evidence to apply for a 28(1). And then all the other processes, the finalizations of the affidavits and enrollment happened.
Here you would not have had that because you've already done your investigation before
Correct.
There was authorization.
The 28(1) should have been done a lot earlier yes.
Yeah. So it was being done at this stage, considering that a date for arrest has already been decided and it's just going to be in a few days' time. It was just for appearances of compliance, really.
Correct.
Thank you.
Regarding the document of the 30th of May is it? Yes, because yours is the 3rd of June. The one of the 30th of May, subject to what Ms. Johnson, or Advocate Johnson will say, because we said we will give her an opportunity to respond. Subject to what she says, it looks like what she did, if in fact she did this, constitutes forgery and uttering, actually.
Yes, and I cannot understand why she would do it in my name.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can we then just go back to your statement? At paragraph 33, you dealt with the trailing emails. The document provides, so maybe just start 33 from scratch.
It is clear from the trailing emails that follow thereafter, including emails from Advocate Johnson, that they could not have been assigned Section 28(1) authorization on the 30th of May 2025. The document provided to the Commission is a complete fabrication. The only other people who could have sent Advocate Johnson an application for Section 28(1) authorization for project diversion are Mr. Shlale and Advocate Schlatzwayo, and I doubt that they did, but they would be best placed to advise the Commission. I certainly did not prepare an application for Section 28(1) authorization on the 30th of May, 2025. Confirm.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else you want to say on this topic of the 28(1) before I ask the Chair if we can adjourn for now?
I want an age analysis, an ink age analysis of that 28(1) signature.
On Advocate Johnson's 30 May.
Because really, this not only is Advocate Johnson deceiving the Commission, she's throwing a junior under the bus. What kind of leadership is that? Is that really leadership? And now I'm speaking from emotion.